everyone. It's Shannon Quigley here with the Northside Family Schools. And with me today is
Sarah Side from the Wayne Family Schools.
And today we're going to be talking about choice boards. So choice boards are something we really love to use with students, both in the classroom and as we think about remote learning. So we're hoping today you'll take away some information that you can use that helps you learn how to give students choice and ownership over their own learning.
So you might be asking yourself, why should I use a choice board in my classroom? Well, it's a great tool to use during your workstation time. It's awesome with leveraging digital, which we all want to do more of in our classrooms. And you also have the opportunity to read aloud those directions to students, and it links to your activities and assignments right from one slide or screen.
The other reason we really love thinking about choice boards is we're trying to get people to think about how to use technology in a more meaningful way. So how can you get students to be creative with the things that you're doing so they're achieving the standards, they're practicing their learning, but it's not necessarily just a rote game or a rote sit and get information. And choice boards allow you to provide multiple different avenues for showcasing their learning. So really getting those critical thinking and collaboration skills as well through the use of one platform of that choice board.
So when should you use choice boards? At school as well as during your remote learning. So these are going to be ideal to use when you are in a classroom setting because students will have the same access to everything as well as you during your remote learning. It's a good idea to be using them in both capacities so that your students are more familiar with things if we would go to a remote learning situation. These are great to use during your small group instruction. So your students may still be going to workstations and doing workstation activities, but they all have the access through their choice board. The choice board does not have to be completely digital. You can use paper pencil or workstation activities and have students just take pictures of items. But it's a great way to give directions all in one place. You can have these during your project-based assignments. You might have research and students creating journals for facts and information for your projects, or just to give them something else to do while you're working with students during that time. Maybe during your independent work time at the end of a whole group lesson. If you're doing a math lesson, whole group, and you want to have time to work with students one-on-one or in small group, a choice board would be ideal to have your students doing during that work time. Maybe one of the choices is for them to complete the math book page for the day, and then they have the option of doing another assignment or activity after they're finished with that.
And I just to kind of reiterate what Sarah said, these are just great for when you're either at school, and we recommend if this is a tool you think is going to be useful, if we're back in-person instruction, start building these in school so kids do them while they're with you, so that if you had to go to a remote learning situation, it's something they're familiar with and just super comfortable and super easy for them to use. So there are many things that you can include in a choice board, and we just wanted to give you a few options of things, and this is not an exhaustive list by any means. There are tons of things you can do.
So some of the things that our district already uses, Dreambox for elementary math, Desmos and Agile Minds at the secondary level are great things to put in there. You can either just have your students working at their own pace or assigning activities. The virtual math manipulatives is a link, and it's more for the elementary level, just with base 10 blocks and things that can be used during that.
Okay, sorry for that little interruption. We are in a conference room, and so it's not our live session. We just wanted to get this a little bit cleaned up for you. So Sarah was sharing these math resources, and again, it's just different options for you to include when we get to the point where we're showing you choices. So it's the same thing with our ELA links. So there are tons of curriculum sites that are embedded within your lesson plans. Like I know one is, gosh, I just lost it, Culturegrams. So like in first grade, that's a site where kids have to go to. You can embed that link within the choices so they don't have to find it. they can link out to it. There's resource videos that you can include. We're going to show you how to include a video within your slides, different websites, again, that are some things that are already connected through Clever, but it's just another way for you to maybe direct them more specifically. So even though you could get to Epic maybe through Clever, this would give them direct connection to a certain book. And the same with Google Slides and Google Docs in secondary. We're going to show you some ways that you could maybe create a template and send it out to kids in a choice board. So again, I just want to keep saying we just love these because they put all of the material kids need in one location. So it's independent of different links or different content blocks.
So what choice boards would be ideal to use in a classroom setting or a remote learning setting? That's kind of up to you. Lots of different options. One might be to use a daily board, and your daily board would consist of maybe your independent assignment that you want students to be working on, as well as 2 additional things that they can do, more practice or a quiz or something like that. These may be current activities or standards or skills that you're working on, as well as previous ones. You might choose to do a weekly board for students, again, working on current or previous skills and standards. Or you may choose to do a unit board. If you're doing a unit on cells and molecules, you may create a whole choice board over that topic where students might have places to do research, collect ideas, jot down ideas, but it's all in one spot for them.
Right. So really depending on what you want them to do. Is it more of a, like you said, they're just completing follow-up activities, or are they getting more to that critical thinking level, like making a diagram of the cells they've learned about? So there's no limit to really what you can do with them.
So here's some examples of various choice boards. This example here would be a daily choice board where maybe choice 1 is that independent assignment that you want your students to be working on, and then choice 2 and 3 are different ones they can go to. The nice thing about choice boards is that you can differentiate them. So you might tell Shannon that you want her to do choice 1 and 2 and not give her the option of doing choice 3, while you might tell Matt that you want him to do choice 1 and 3 and leave out the option of choice 2. It just gives teachers the option to differentiate a little bit, and you'll see that in the next examples as well. So this would be an example of a weekly choice board where there are 6 different activities that students can be working on. Again, current and previous activities are listed and assigned. So again, if you know a student is having trouble with, multiplication facts, you might have one of your activities be a multiplication fact practice, and you assign certain students to work on that specific activity. There is a link to other blank boards down at the bottom, or if you click on the image, it will take you to the to this particular choice board that I created. The last one would be more of a unit of study. This teacher created one over place value. So just giving different options to practice place value, different activities to do, books to read, videos to watch. There's just a lot more options with this. And again, you can assign certain students different activities to work on and practice based upon what their needs are.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last one I just want to show you is this is a ELA-based one, and this is one I would probably do maybe for the week. So when they're out working after I've taught my whole group lesson, this is a first grade one. So everything they need is included in here. They just watch a little video. They can choose some Epic books. They go to different activities. But what's nice about this is that I can share this out easily with students, which we're going to show you at the end, is how you can share this either on a site like Seesaw or on a site like PowerSchool Learning, which is what we're going to be continuing to use next school year is PowerSchool Learning. So how can we make that an even easier tool for our students? And choice boards really do that because, again, it's not only easy for you, but it's easy for students as well to click through.
And as opposed to having a bunch of links on your LMS page, the choice board puts all of those links in one spot. So they're not having to go to this link and then back to your PowerSchool page to go to this next link. It's all right there for them.
Yeah. Okay, so that was kind of like the just sharing part. And the next part, even though you're not watching this or completing this live, how we're going to kind of set up the next part is we're going to walk you through an idea for what you can include in your choice board. Then we'll kind of pause and give you a chance to work on it. So you can pause this video at any time and then get working. Okay, so give us a second to get that set up. Okay, so the next part, like I said, we're going to start by just showing you how to set up a choice board. And although Sarah and I showed you several different ways you could make choice boards, today, for our purposes of practicing, we're going to all make a choice board that looks similar to this choice board here by just creating a 2x3 table, giving us 6 places to put content in. So we're going to show you how to begin, and you're going to go up to a new tab in your browser, and you're going to start by going to your Google Drive. We're going to recommend that all choice boards that you create be created in a Google Slide. And the reason that we kind of choose Google Slides as the vehicle for all of these is that, one, it provides so many ways to share content that other tools don't offer. And then the second reason is that Google is sort of a core program, such like Microsoft is as well. But this can lend itself to embedding in PowerSchool, embedding in Seesaw, and it's not a third-party tool. Okay, sorry for the interruptions. You know how it is. So anyway, back to the other reason. Google integrates well with our other platforms, which is why it's Google Slides and we're not saying PowerPoint, although you could do something similar in those programs. And then finally, one of the things reasons we say this is no matter what platform of e-learning or tools that we use as a district, even if those would change, you would still have access to the resources you create through your Google Drive. That's one thing that will not change. So if you're kind of planning for the future and, hey, I don't know if PowerSchool Learning is always going to be around, but I do know that I'm always going to want to use this choice board. So if I spend all my time creating in one of those third-party programs, there's a chance that I'll have to recreate it again down the line. So by using your core programs and then sharing those programs out on your third-party platforms, I think you'll get a lot more comfort knowing that you're going to have access to it later. Okay, so let's talk about that setup. So to get to your Google Drive, and if you just go right to Google Slides, that's fine too, but for our people who are still getting comfortable with Google Drive, I go to Google and I click on my little waffle, and then I click on Google Drive. You can create a new folder for your choice boards, which we're going to ask you to do today just to kind of keep them all together, or you could name it English Language Arts or Math or whatever your content is too with that choice board. So I'll just make one today that says I'm going to make a new folder. I click on new folder and I'll just make it ELA choice boards. Okay. So this is going to help me organize all of my content so it's more easily able to find. So see Google highlighted that choice board folder. I'm just going to double click. And now my folder opens up. From here, I can just right click and open a new Google slide. If I open it from here, it automatically organizes it in my choice board folder. I don't have to reorganize it later. So I'll click on Google Slides. I just realized I'm talking with my hands and you can't see me, so that's okay. Once I get my Google slide, it's going to automatically kind of give me this title, but I'm just going to delete those today. I don't need them right there. I'm going to name this okay, so we'll just kind of say today I'm going to do a lesson on dolphins to go with a story that used to be in the reading book. I'm not sure about the dolphin that was pink. We'll go with that. So we'll do a dolphin choice board. And so you just name it something so you can find it later. So I've named it. I have a blank slide. And now I'm going to create a colored background just to make it more visually appealing. So I click on background. And I can choose any color I want. I'll go ahead and choose a blue today and click done. And if I want to make sure all of my slides have that same background, I can click add to theme and I'll just click done. So now my background is blue just because that's the color I wanted. I can now insert a table to help me get those 6 boxes that I talked about that we're going to create. So I go to insert table and then I'm just going to make it a 3x2 here and click insert. And now you can see here's my table. It's not exactly the size I want, so if I just click on these corners, I can drag it and make it bigger or smaller as well. And now the other thing I would recommend is changing the color of your line. So this gray is not very easy to see. So up here where it says border color, I'll just select that. I'm going to change it to white. And then I can also change the thickness of my line by choosing border weight. And I usually stick to about 8. It gives me a nice thick enough line there that I'd like to add. You can also add a title to your choice board by just clicking the T text box, dragging it again to the size you want. I'll do dolphin choice board and change the, again, go up here and I can change the font and change the size, spell dolphin correctly. Okay, and then again, we're going to give you time now to kind of work on that first step. So you're going to go to your Google Drive, create that folder, and then make a 6-section box. So we'll go ahead and pause for a second and let you do that. Okay, if you're just restarting again, one of the questions we had in our earlier session was, how do you change your font up here? Or what was this font? One of the things that maybe is unknown, if you click up here on fonts, you can always add different styles of fonts to your Google account. So if you go to more fonts, there's a ton that you can kind of scroll through and check out if you want to add them into your presentation. Okay.
And Sheena, one thing I wanted to add to this, another reason, we talked about different reasons for using Google Drive. Another reason is you can share these choice boards. So if you create one for a certain unit or a day, you can share this with your co-teachers working at that same grade level. So all of your students are doing the same activities. Teachers could change activity from class to class if they would choose to. But that way, not everybody has to reinvent the wheel each day and do new tasks. So maybe you assign each teacher a day to do or a week to do, and then you can share them amongst each other very easily by sharing the folder or the individual slide. So that's another great feature with Google, is that you're able to share things very easily with your co-teachers.
Great thought. I think to say that. Okay. Good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and now we're going to show you the first way to add some content. And this is probably the most common thing that people do, is they add content to their slides by linking to an outside website. And you can either link through just text that you add to your slides or a picture. So I'm going to go back to my choice board and I'm going to select box number 1. And I'm just going to start by saying, read about dolphins here. For some reason I keep spelling that wrong. Yep. So I'm going to add that here. And then up at the top, you can see the key to making this all work is this little link button. It looks like a chain link, and this is sort of the universal sign for hyperlink. So you'll see that on pretty much every website that you want to make a link for. So I'll say I'm going to make my text a little bit bigger. And again, I'm just kind of showing you how I center it. I can change the color again to white. But now I'm ready to add my link. So I can go up to my browser here and I'm just going to find the link that I want. So I'm just going to look up some articles about dolphins. Okay, National Geographic, that's a trusted site I know is going to be great. So I'll just grab this article for me for our purposes. I'm going to hit Control-C. You can also right-click, copy to get that link. Now I'm going to go back to my choice board. Remember, I have my text highlighted. I'm just going to click the link here. And I'm just going to hit Control-V. And when I click or right-click paste, apply, my link is now active. So if kids were to click on this, you can see how the little blue link came up. They could just click this and it takes them to the site that I wanted them to go to. Now, sometimes Google changes your link color and it makes it harder to read. So again, you can just highlight that and go back up to your text color box and change it to whatever color you want to make it more readable. Okay. You can, just like we said before, you can also link through an image. So I'm going to go up to the top and click Insert Image, and I'm just going to search the web for a picture of a dolphin.
I got a lot of questions about like the filtering of these, and all of the images that are available this way have been made ready for use, and there are no rights restricted or anything like that. So these are able to be posted and added to your slides without any fear of copyright infringement or anything like that.
So I just add that image in, and what's nice about, like Sarah said, I can use it, and especially if you're doing this with kids, they're creating a slide. You don't have to save the image to your computer and then upload it and find it, which is always a hard step. So you just click insert, it gets added. And to add my link, I just click on the image. Again, click the link button here, paste my link to the article in, and click apply. And now, no matter where my kids click, either on the image or on the text, it will take them to that website. So again, we're going to give you a chance now. We'd like you to kind of pick a focus for your choice board today and add a link or two. But we want you to try linking text and linking an image. So go ahead and take about, we gave people in our meeting about 5 minutes, so don't spend too much time unless this is something you really want to use in the future. And you'll go from there. Okay, if you're coming back from adding your link, we're going to keep moving onwards here. The next thing we want to talk about is adding a video to your Google slide. And there's a lot of questions about this in our last one about the benefits of using Google Slides as how you show videos and when you would just put a link to YouTube. My recommendation is to always put videos in Google Slides, and I'm going to show you why here. So I'm going back to my Dolphin choice board, and I'm just going to click this little down arrow here and insert a blank new slide. Okay, so I want to insert a video from YouTube about dolphins. So I can just, again, search within my Google Slides. I don't have to go to a new window. And I'm going to put dolphins for kids. And everything, like just if I was in YouTube doing a search, the videos are going to come up here. So once I have my video I want, I'm just going to select it. And it automatically comes onto my slide. So now I've got my video. And what you'll notice is on the right-hand side, this format options button came up. And what's nice about this is if I do my video in Google Slides, first of all, there's no ads, which we know is a scary thing to start showing a YouTube video in your class, never knowing what ad will come up. So this 99% of the time takes them away. And then you can also change where it starts at. So if you really just want to focus on where dolphins' habitat is, and that starts at 1 minute, you can change 1 minute to 3 minutes is the only portion of the video you really need kids to see. They can, once I change the time here, when kids go out and click the video, it's just going to start at 1 minute in. Okay. A really great feature is I can cut down a bigger video into a smaller clip for students. Okay, so now I'm ready to share this out. And like Sarah talked about at the beginning, you don't have to have all digital resources. So I could say, click the video and watch. Draw a picture in your journal showing their habitat. And so really the only digital part of this is that they're going to click on this text and watch the video. So again, I just highlight the text, click on my link above, and now this time I'm going to, instead of putting an external website, it says slides in this presentation. I'll just click that and go to slide, find my slide number is 2, apply, and now when they click on this link, it just takes them to the video. Okay, so that is just right now. Again, we're going to give you the work time. We want you to put a video into your slide choice board. So go ahead and add your blank slide, add your video, and then link it back on your choice board. So we'll give you, again, take about 5 minutes and try to get that task done. And we're back for adding content. Okay, now these are ones in our session we didn't spend a lot of time on really walking you through the steps for a couple of reasons. One, when we were recording a video, it doesn't let you use all of the features that you see here, but we did want to let you know sort of what's possible. So in our slide there, we are going to ask you to add sound for your choice board. So what's nice about adding sound or video is that, again, if if you're in-person teaching, there might be something that kids need to complete that is totally non-digital, but you do need to give instructions. So if two kids are playing a game together for this choice board, you can explain the instructions. If you're modeling how to do a lab, you could explain the instructions and they can see you. So two tools that we're going to advise you to use for adding sound or video are, one, there's a Chrome extension called Record to Slides. When you add this extension and use it, you can record a little video. You can see me waving here. And it goes directly to the slide that you're on. So I don't have to save it to my drive and then upload it. It just automatically can be inserted into my slide. So if I add that extension, then up there at the top of my slide deck, you'll see back here this little blue camera. When I click that, it just allows me to quickly record my video. And then when I say record, I can insert that directly onto that slide. So that's really a cool feature there. Okay, the next thing is the online voice recorder. And this is great for instructions for students, especially for our lower kids, that if I just want to read, I could put this on my choice board up by the title and tell them what I want them to do. So I could say, this week you're going to be learning about dolphins during our station time. You need to complete squares 1 and 2, but then you can choose 2 of the remaining squares on the board to complete. Okay. So once I get this little video clip or audio clip, I can trim it. I can take out things if I mess up and restart, but then you just save this and then you'll just upload that to your Google Drive, and then you can insert it into your choice board by just going to insert audio and then choose one of your sounds, and then it will come up here, and I'm not sure what sound this is, so but it comes with this little arrow button. Right. This little play button, so you could just click that and say click here. It's making it a really weird shape, but you get the idea. It is a button. Okay, so you will add that audio. So we're going to give you a chance again to go to your third slide and just practice playing around adding that extension or checking out the online voice recorder and adding it in that slide.
For this next slide, this is just another chance for you to practice adding in some additional content. So this is your chance to kind of get creative and use some things that you typically will use in your classroom and add those in for your kids to practice. So this would be a great time to add in a Dreambox link to a specific lesson that you might be working on for the week, or just letting kids continue working on activities. This would be a great time to link into an epic book, for example, and give students a specific book to read on a topic on dolphins. And the nice thing that I found teachers enjoy is having some activities that go along with the epic books now. So you may assign that to students for completion, to have them read a book and answer some questions. So this would be a great time for you just to link in some additional resources and additional tools for your students to use on your choice board.
Yep. And this is a great way, if you're not familiar with all the tools that we have out there to use, to explore too, like see how you could link your Flipgrid in here, see how you could link Connect-A-Book, or if you're already using Kahoot or Pear Deck, you could just put those links in there again for kids to use. So you don't have to recreate the wheel, but we want you just to pull maybe 1 or 2 resources that you're already using and create those 2 squares there. So try 2 tools that you have and put those in those squares. Okay, the last one we're going to show you today is how to add something for students that maybe you want them to just make a copy of. Especially for our older students, they might not have as many tools that they are just used to using, but you do have, maybe you want them to complete a paper or the scientific process on a lab or something like that. So you really just need them to get a template of something that you want them to use. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive here, and I'm going to pull a template out here that I've got saved. That's not going away. But let's say this is the game that I want them to play in math today. So I need each team to have their own copy of this math game. But I don't want to rely on students to duplicate that. So I need them all to have it, but if they duplicate it, you know how that gets. So there's an easier way to share this with students. So if I go up to the top browser bar here, you see where it says the word edit. If you just go and up to the top there and delete everything behind the word edit, including edit, and change that to copy. Once I do that and I copy this link, it's going to force kids, when they click my link, it's going to look like this: make a copy of the document. So now, instead of having to rely on them to make a copy, I can just go back to my choice board and say, today you're going to play the game Farkle with your class. And again, this doesn't have anything to do with dolphins, but you get the idea. Click here for a copy of your game board. When kids get this link, all they have to do is click it and it forces a copy for them. So again, it takes the guesswork out of what they need to do and it gives them a copy. So this would be great if you're saying, you know, before reading, answer this question. Okay, type your response. So it kind of gives you a chance to do things like a discussion board, a before, during, and after. But you've got the template, you've got it. And if you share it from a shared folder, you can have them put things in a shared folder for you as well to be able to see it, or they can share it back with you. So just kind of thinking, yes, it's great to have these external websites, but you can also create material that they can just fill in or complete that is deeper learning than just going and clicking and playing games. So it can be deeper than what you might think on the surface.
And Shannon, just going back to one of the questions that was in our chat earlier this morning, there was a question from a teacher that asked, when you have your kids make a copy of an assignment, like a Google Doc, for example, how do you get that back from them? What's the process of having them turn in that assignment?
Yeah, there are a few ways that you can do that. You can make, like I said, a shared folder, but you could create it as an assignment on your PowerSchool Learning page, and they could turn in that copy. You could put in your choice board, then go to assignments and turn in this slide. So it's great. That's a good point, because just like in our classroom, we want to think about which piece of this is going to be their accountability piece, and how do I know that as a teacher? So younger grades, you might consider using Seesaw as that accountability piece. Older grades, I would use assignments in PowerSchool Learning. So I'm going to go to my class page and just show you quickly how to share this with your class once you've made a choice board. And this, I think, is not something that everybody knew about, because last year we switched from logging in with Microsoft to logging in with Google. And again, we did that because of the features we're about to show you as the integration. So when you click on Add Content Block, down here at the bottom, if you click on Google Drive, any of the recent documents that you've created can be embedded in your page, meaning kids don't have to click a link. It just shows up on your page when they log in. So if I pick from my Google Drive here, and it usually shows the most recent things, but you can always search for what you're looking for up here in your search bar. You're going to click on my Dolphin Choice Board here and select. Okay, I don't want the kids to be able to edit this particular slide deck, so I'm going to put teachers only and click next. And then now you can see my Dolphin Choice Board is just right there on my page. So anywhere the kids click, all of those links are clickable, and that is perfectly saved on there. So again, the benefits of doing this are, one, I didn't have to create 6 or 7 content blocks to get kids to complete this portion of my lesson. So maybe I can put my teaching video up here, and then now here's your on your own work, and everything is clickable. The other great thing is that it's, now that it's connected to my Google Drive, if I were to go in here and insert, and I don't think I said this morning, so this is something I forgot to add. Say I'm just going to show you this for our purposes. I change something on my slide after I have already uploaded it. Because it's linked to my Google Drive, when I go back into my PowerSchool page and refresh, I hope it doesn't prove me wrong here, but it updates with whatever you change. So you don't have to go in and keep correcting the link if you make changes. See, now my dolphin picture is there. So, which is really great. If you notice a typo or you want to change one activity, everything else remains the same and it's already connected to your Google Drive. So it just makes it super seamless for teachers to do. So that's one of the things we love, is that, again, for some reason we're not using PowerSchool Learning anymore, you still have your choice board, and it's because everything's driving from your Google Drive.
And Shannon, another great thing about using our digital choice boards is that there are no more missing papers No more missing copies of things. No more running to the copy machine because somebody lost their page of their workstation activities. It's all right there, saved on their LMS. So each day they go in, and it's like having their own copy every single day. So a lot of it, cuts down on teacher time of making copies for students, but it also cuts down on student time of trying to find their assignments or trying to find pages. It's all right there for them.
For our lower kiddos who maybe have trouble getting to PowerSchool independently, these also work through Seesaw because it's connected to Google Drive. So if I'm creating an activity, I can assign the activity, and then I just choose a choice board. This is the one I made earlier. I upload it, and there's a little how-to video I made about how to do that, but I will we'll link that later. But for our purposes, I just want you to see that I can link this choice board. Kids click on the link. The choice board, again, everything is clickable on here, but they didn't have to navigate to a special website to find it. They can click on this to find the activities. But then the nice part about linking it to Seesaw is they have all the resources up here, but they can really complete all of the activities within Seesaw as well. So here are the accountability pieces that connect to my boxes that I created. So what did you learn about the Friends book that you read on Epic? They can use the tools in Seesaw to complete the activities, the word sorts as well. So everything can really be built out of Seesaw. I made this in Google Slides, I uploaded it to Seesaw, and all the student accountability is built within. So that's a really great reason for our younger kiddos to maybe find it easier to turn things in with Seesaw. And we'll have more training available on Seesaw as we go through the summer if that's something you're interested in learning about. So those are the major things we wanted to share with you about choice boards today. We hope that gives you some ideas of how you can use them. If you have ideas or you want to share with others, put them in an email to us so that we can highlight them on our Facebook page. If you don't follow us there, feel free to reach out there or ask questions or message us. We are happy to help you. And since you're not live, you can't ask us a ton of questions right now. But we hope this was helpful. And if this is something that you or others in your building want more information on, or you think this PL would be great for your staff, please reach out to us and let us know. We're happy to do that for you as you start preparing for next school year.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, everybody.